Hi there, Davey Cretin for Cretin Classics here. I'm going to try something different in this video. A lot of people recently, I've noticed on YouTube channels, have been doing their favorite song from every studio album by a band. So I'm going to try it too. Obviously, you've seen the name of the video, and I am going through all 11 studio records by Metallica, one of the heaviest bands that I am a fan of, and I'm going to pick my favorite song off every studio record. Now, this was inspired by a friend of mine who lives in Australia named Peter, second Peter, I know, down in Australia. He has his own channel for many years, at least 14 years. He's been on YouTube. He's got a lot of content. I haven't seen nearly all of it. His channel is called The Lizard King Channel. So obviously, Peter is a big fan of The Doors. He also likes Metallica. He recently did a favorite songs from each Metallica studio record video. I made a comment. I picked all of mine off the top of my head. So I'm going with the same list. I figured, what the heck? I'll do my own video. So thank you, Peter, from the Lizard King channel down in Australia. And Peter will be on my channel this spring, maybe summer. We are planning to do a video together. So look for Peter in an upcoming show on Cretin Classics. Okay, here we go. We're going to start out July 1983, the first Metallica record, Kill 'Em All, certified 4 times platinum in the United States. That's a lot of records. I'm going with a track that is nearly 7 minutes long. Of course, I'm talking about Seek and Destroy. That opening riff is so heavy. The drums in the song, the solo, and that evil laugh from James. And this is arguably the heaviest, the fastest Metallica record. So from Kill 'Em All, Seek and Destroy is my choice from their first album. A year later, almost to the day, July 1984, the second album, Ride the Lightning, certified 6 times platinum, 6 million plus records sold in America. I'm going with the 6.5-minute classic. And for the first few albums, I am picking obvious songs, but I will pick deep tracks later on. I am going with Creeping Death. It's a biblical story. It's a mini epic on its own. It tells a tale. The riffs, the angry vocals from James Hetfield. And when I used to see Metallica live, just the power of live music, when they're chanting die, to halfway, 2/3 of the way through the song, and the crowd, everyone's going, die, die, die. Just the power of live music. I remember looking around the arena, looking around the arena thinking, wow, this is very powerful stuff. Indeed. Just very eye-opening and also maybe a little scary if you think about it. So, Creeping Death from Ride the Lightning. Moving on to the third album, March 1986, Master of Puppets. Master of Puppets is 8 times platinum, and I'm sure that was helped along by the appearance of the title track in Stranger Things. And yes, the 8.5-minute title track is what I'm going with. Master of Puppets, this is an epic song. The riffs, the drums, the lead guitar work, the bass, and that mellow middle 8. And then how it builds back up. That is awesome. Have to go with the title track. It's an album with no duff tracks, of course, but Master of Puppets title track, my favorite. Fourth album, And Justice for All. And I think this was the first time I saw Metallica on this tour. Queensryche opened up. Very long time ago. Came out August of 1988, and Justice for All is also 8 times platinum, helped by the smash single One, which for their first video on MTV got tons of airplay back in the day. I am not going with One. I am going with a song that's a little under 8 minutes. This is definitely a deep track. I'm going with The Frayed Ends of Sanity. You get that whole Wizard of Oz intro. Oh, wee, oh, oh, wee, oh. Okay, that's enough of that, David. Pre-chorus is great. The chorus is spectacular. And that solo, I love it. That is my choice from Justice, The Frayed Ends of Sanity. Moving on to the fifth album, self-titled. Most people call it the Black Album, whichever way you go. Came out August of 1991. This is the big one. This album is double diamond. Over 20 million copies sold just in the United States of America. So this is easily their biggest album, a huge album. I'm going with a deep track here too. Now, I did a video on my channel a few months back, how to make Metallica's Black Album a little more palatable. So if you haven't seen that, Metallica fans, check it out. Or fans of hard rock or heavy metal, just how to skip over and resequence a record that you like, but you're sort of tired of, but you're not tired of everything on it. The deep track, I'm going with a hair over 4 minutes. And of course, I am talking about Through the Never. That opening riff is so fast, it's so great, it's so catchy. And I love the way the song has that stop-start effect throughout it. Definitely a killer song. Great solo, and I love that stark ending. The way it ends is great. Through the Never is my choice from the Black Album. Short song for them at the time. Moving on, we go to June of 1996 for record number 6. 5 times platinum, 5-minute song. The opening track, Ain't My Bitch, is my choice here. I wrote down it's a sterling, slamming album opener. And Metallica have this on just about every album. Great opening tracks by this band. These guys know how to open a record and they know how to close a record. So I'm going with the album opener, Ain't My Bitch. Love the chorus here, the pre-chorus, Kirk's lead guitar work throughout the song, and James' vocals. I like it on here. A little while later, November 1997, about a year and a half later, they released Reload. That has gone 4 times platinum in the States. I am picking, once again, a shorter song. It's 4.5 minutes. It's also the album opener called Fuel. I dig that a cappella opening and that grinding riff in this song. Now, neither Load nor Reload really lived up to the expectations of their respective opening tracks. There's no denying these 2 songs. So from Reload, I am picking Fuel as my choice. Moving on to their 8th and somewhat controversial record. I'm talking about June 2003's Saint Anger. Actually went 2 times platinum in America. Over 2 million copies sold. And I am going, once again, with the opening track. It's under 6 minutes, and half the album has songs over 6 minutes. So this is slightly shorter. It starts out with that guitar riff and that infamous drum sound right from the get-go. Sounds like Lars is banging on a garbage can. And at my record store gig, because I worked at record stores for years, those who don't know me from the internet and my myriad appearances on other channels, about 33 years or so, I worked in a bunch of different record stores, about half dozen or so. And at the time, I used to do an impression of the song by just taking a pen, and of course I have no pen next to me, I usually do, and we had one of those charity cans on the counter where people would give money and then my boss would give it to the charity. I would take a pen, bang on the tin can and say, here's my impression of Lars' drum sound on Saint Anger. I know it's a little vicious, but it's what I used to do back in the day because I was a big goofball at the record stores. So you get that drum sound, but I like James' anger in the song. He was really angry at the time. Obviously, Metallica had their issues. Their bass player had left. They had someone fill in on this record, even though Robert Trujillo is listed. He doesn't play on it. Bob Rock plays on it. And James had some personal troubles. He was angry, and it shows in the song Frantic. I like the cool lyrics. I like the lyrics in this song. Like some of the wordplay, tick-tock frantic, tick-tock frantic. I like that whole thing. I think it's very clever. Yeah, he's pissed off, and it shows on this whole album. Not the best-sounding album, but Frantic is my favorite from this record. Moving on to Death Magnetic, September 2008. So over 5 years later, they finally come out with a new record, Death Magnetic. Also, like Saint Anger, like its predecessor, it went 2 times platinum in America. Here I'm going with a 7-minute song, a little over 7 minutes. That Was Just Your Life. I love the way it starts out with that eerie, chiming opening riff, and then it kicks in 45 seconds into the song. Now you get a nasty guitar solo from Kirk Hammett on this song. Perhaps the production was a casualty of what they call the loudness wars in the first decade of the 2000s, but to me this album was a return to form nonetheless compared to Saint Anger. I think it's a lot better. Plus on this record you get the first actual appearance of Robert Trujillo on bass. This guy's been in the band since 2002, 2003. He's played on 3 studio records. Wow, pretty amazing when you think about it. Been in the band about 24 years, 23, 24 years. Played on 3 studio albums. Of course, he's done hundreds and hundreds of live concerts. But on studio records, not that much, 3 out of 11 records. Moving on to the next album from 2016, November 2016. So now we're on an 8-year hiatus before a new record. But Metallica did give a double record, a very long record, 2 CDs, went platinum. The last Metallica studio record to certify. Here I am going with the 3-minute and 10-second sort of title track. The album is Hardwired, ... to Self-Destruct. The song I'm going with is Hardwired. Fast, aggressive, and kicks ass. Now, this was the last CD I remember buying new at its super discounted price from a record store I worked at in either late 2016 or early 2017. After that, I just remember buying used records from the job I was at. I think this was the last CD I purchased new at the time. Now, I still do buy new CDs. I have a lot of album reviews coming up on my channel over the next few weeks. I like the chorus here a lot. I know it's a bit of a cursing chorus, but I like it. Great solo on this song by Kirk. To me, at a little over 3 minutes, this is Metallica with all of the fat trimmed off it. So you could say there's no fat, you eat the meat, and perhaps you spit out the bone. But my choice from Hardwired to Self-Destruct is the semi-title track, Hardwired. Okay, moving on to the last Metallica studio record here. So far, 72 seasons from April 2023. This record did not certify, hard to believe. 10 of their records certified in America, but not 72 seasons. Here I'm going with, I think it's the shortest song on the record, 3 minutes, 25 seconds, maybe a hair under that, a song called Lux Eterna. Another quick burst of aggression with mint riffs, audible bass runs in this song. You do hear Robert Trujillo. Powerful drumming, and I know a lot of people poop on Lars as a drummer, but he wouldn't have the career he had if he wasn't a decent drummer. Maybe sloppy, maybe live he's a little sloppy, sorry. Maybe live he's a little sloppy. But in the studio, played on a lot of great records. You can't deny that. And he's influenced a lot of drummers too, so I don't think he's as bad as people think. You get an awesome Kirk Hammett solo here as well, and this is all in under 3.5 minutes. So from 72 seasons, my choice, Lux Eterna. That's it, just 1 page of notes for this show. Amazing, because the show I taped earlier, I had 6.5 pages of notes. Barely used them. At any rate, I am Davey Cretin for Cretin Classics. What are your favorite Metallica songs from each studio record? You could put it in the comments below. Please like, subscribe. That always helps out the algorithm, as they say. And remember, everyone, to rock out, prog on, and pogo. It's my mantra and my logo at the end of most of my videos. Davy Cretin for Cretin Classics, and I will see everyone in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.